We are back at MIPtalk Studios, the Center for Innovation in Humanity, the Innovation in Humanity Summit 2010 at Chapman University Leatherby Center. I'm here with Glenn Llopis, a dear friend, the creator, CEO, founder, and innovator behind the Innovation in Humanity Summit. Glenn, hello. Thank you so much for being with us again.
Thank you, Noam.
We're more than halfway through the day now. There have been some amazing panel discussions, keynotes, plenaries. A wide variety of things have been discussed. And some of the keynotes that I know are critical for you, that are the basis of the book Earning Serendipity. What is innovation? What is humanity? What is the new normal? One of the things that I wanted to bring up today is the fact that there's going to be incredible forward momentum for both women as leaders in the business, the workforce and
Sure.
the business place, as well as kind of the minority experience. And I'd love for you to sort of offer a little bit of a perspective, because I know that's what we've been discussing today.
Sure. Well, first of all, I'd like to just say thank you for being such a big supporter. And, you know, this has been a lot of fun. I mean, whenever you put together such incredible minds in Innovation Summit, and then you add humanity to it, it's incredible how people really gather and unite and really come together to serve a common cause. And when you think about the advancement of women in society, and specifically speaking, it was really addressing how women address innovation differently. And the reason that we came up with that title is that, see, I believe that there's two things really driving the new normal, per se. Number one, it's women, and number two, it's immigrants. And that's why we talked a little bit about diversity and the changing face of America's corporations. But there's a parallel path that they both have, and if I could address those real quick.
Please do.
Number one is that women, like immigrants, maybe haven't always been given the chance or the opportunity to really allow their skills and competencies to shine. And so now we're at a day and an age where immigrants are actually rewriting the manual of how to overcome a corruption and overcome a recessionary and economic duress. And I think it's fair to say that women at the same time are starting to enlighten us with more touchy-feely things that people are taking the time to give attention to. And
really bringing emotion into the workplace.
Absolutely. I see the role that women are playing right now in society, and you know, you look at that. They are the opportunity experts. I mean, women see opportunity in everything. I mean, look at the way that they network. When they come into the room, they're not just looking to find a transaction. They're trying to find a relationship. So women, Noam, really have this just innate ability to see opportunities. And I think that now that they're given the opportunity to make their presence known, that they're starting to seize it, and they're recognizing that they're not just the minority anymore. They're actually a voice that needs to be reckoned with and considered, especially when we see that, you know, leadership in large Fortune 500 companies, they're starting to turn over. People are starting to question the leaders that put us into this position, and now women more than ever are starting to take on, I know, those chief operating officer and C-level positions.
I think one of the things that's really been interesting when it comes to the immigrant experience is the idea we're currently going through some pretty seismic things within the business climate in this country. A distrust of banks, kind of a redefining of the Wall Street versus Main Street paradigm in a way. And what's interesting is a lot of immigrants come to this country. They can be from Latin American countries, they can be from Asian countries, but they come with a different perspective on dealing with obstacles.
Sure.
Because for them, obstacles are basically finding ways to be opportunistic. They're also really about realizing that they often come from governments that are corrupt, so kind of that is what they know.
Sure.
They seem better adept at that in a way. So what can immigrants teach the American business climate, the U.S. business climate, about ways to be more innovative and more entrepreneurial?
You know, I've always believed, and I think we've learned this even from the Great Depression, that it's not until you've encountered radical obstacles that you're forced to change.
Sure.
And what an immigrant really does, and this is really the difference between what makes this is what really makes immigrants special. They come from corruption. They come from their mother countries, having experienced, you know, banks taking over and falling. They experience so much chaos because there's no foundation like we have here in the United States. So when they come to this country, they see everything as opportunity. Now, here's the difference. Because they fought for survival, they have that passion, they have that instinct about them where they can not only see the opportunity, but they'll roll up their sleeves and go seize it. And I think that that's what's really different now.
See it, seize it. That makes a lot of sense.
So right now, you know, immigrants, and if I can step back a minute, one of the things that I specialize in and what I talk to corporations about is this whole area of Hispanics, and we've talked a lot about today about diversity.
Sure.
But you know, Hispanics don't look at diversity, I think, like most people do. Hispanics see the diversity that already exists within their own community, because Hispanics, they're not a homogeneous society, right? They're not a homogeneous community. So I've always said that there's 6 things from people on the outside who aren't Hispanic, and even those that are Hispanic that are trying to find some unity and common good. There's 6 core characteristics that actually define the Hispanic personality, the Hispanic talent, both in and outside of the workplace.
Let's talk a little bit about what those are.
If I may. The first is what I call immigrant perspective, and we've already started to talk about that they come from their mother countries where their parents and their parents' parents have already experienced very much the same things that we're experiencing now. Number 2 is what we call the entrepreneurial spirit, that Hispanics have this innate entrepreneurial spirit about them. And I've always said that, you know, I've always believed that in the United States, you had a choice to be an entrepreneur, and in developing countries, you had to be one just to survive.
You do it out of necessity.
You do it out of necessity. Well, we've reached a point in time where everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. Everybody needs to be sharing their ideals and ideas, and that's what the immigrant does. How many times have you seen an immigrant, Noam, and you see them coming up with stuff that you say, gee, that stuff's crazy. But you know, whether it's the bakery truck that comes through with a generic logo on it, or whether it's, you know, another dry cleaning facility, they're working it. They're building community. They're building relationships. They get back to the core fundamentals of how to build business, and that's what keeps them growing.